My dog is a small thing that makes me happy, or very small spoons. And sometimes they have been liberated from a cafe because they are particularly nice.
The moment I realised I wanted to act was...
I don't really think that there was a specific one. I think it was just sort of something that I was always doing. I remember doing a school play, I think when I must have been about 7. It was an interesting adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream. I think it was set in Connecticut, in upstate New York. I don't really remember why, but I managed to remember everybody else's lines. That wasn't intentional, but that's sort of how what happened. It was just something I was always really loving doing, really.
The most unexpected thing about being in a Wes Anderson film was?
How free and collaborative the environment was. Because even though he has a very clear plan and knows exactly what it is that he's looking for, and we'd have shot lists and a little animatic that he'd made, which is just a very simple 2-dimensional version of the film, we still had quite a lot of scope and ability to discover things and find new things on the day or during the scenes, you know, whatever we were doing. So yeah, that was a nice little surprise.
I do feel like they're the best ways because, you know, I always, before I do like these shoots, I always email everybody and I'm like, you know, we've got this idea, there's this creative, but it's a collaboration, so, you know, until we're together on the day.
Yeah.
And I think that's really freeing and that's so amazing to like honour another person's craft that way.
Mm-hmm.
The most surreal moment from filming was?
The most surreal moment was walking onto set for the first time in full Liesl garb and realising while standing in the corner just watching, I totally ruined that eye, watching the room sort of be set up for the first shot and knowing that this wasn't a dream and this was really happening now, and I had so much of the job still to go and I was so excited about that, and I knew that I would be devastated when it was over, and I was.
Do you feel like in a way like letting go of the character that you've just embodied for so long is quite hard sometimes?
I'm not really sure because I think it's been a long time now, so I think if I was asked that question a year ago, I'd probably have a different answer, but she's still, I mean, I guess it's sort of still there, but just not maybe so close to the surface anymore. Yeah. So yeah.
If I weren't an actor, I'd probably be
a mountain guide.
Oh, nice.
Or a fashion designer. Those two things are not mutually exclusive, but yes.
I think I read somewhere that you were into hiking actually.
Yeah.
Sort of like, yeah.
Yes, I am.
Favourite spot in the UK?
Anywhere that isn't near anything.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few of those places if you know where to look for them.
Yeah. I feel most powerful when?
Well, on the subject of hiking, I feel most powerful when I am on my own, completely relying on my own abilities and hiking something very challenging, because it is not only a physical challenge, but it is very much a mental challenge, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much, because sometimes I find myself going, okay, one more step, another step, another step, another step, and that's usually after many, many, many hours of just, you know, exhaustive hiking. I really enjoy that. It makes me feel very strong.
A small thing that makes me happy is?
My dog. Yes. My dog is a small thing that makes me happy, or very small spoons. Very small spoons. And sometimes they have been liberated from a cafe because they are particularly nice spoons.
Really?
Yes.
Well, like a little sugar-like spoon.
Like a sugar spoon or a teaspoon. I think, yeah, I have very few normal-sized spoons in my house. They're all small, and I like them. They make desserts last much longer.
Yes.
So okay, yes,
I'm
good.
with you with that one.
Useful.
I actually, so my 3-year-old daughter has they have like little cookery for her.
Aww.
And I actually sometimes use her little spoons to eat like a pudding.
Yeah, they just, like the goo pots, they make them last so much longer.
So
it's like
true.
You've had two whole desserts, but not really.
I know, I love the goo. That's so true. A personal goal I'm working towards
living off grid for an undetermined amount of time in an undisclosed or undecided location. I don't know, that's sort of always something that I've wanted to do, to disappear into nature and just be there and be in quietness and sort of, I don't know, be present in the deafening silence. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The kind of role I dream of playing next is... I would love to know, because you're so talented. So I'm like, what are we going to see you in next?
No, I'm so British, I don't know how to take a compliment. Oh God, the kind of role I'd like to play is not something I know yet.
Ooh.
Because, I mean, there are people out in the industry who've been there for a really long time, and there are people who haven't, and there are people who don't know that that's what they want to do yet. But all of them have their completely individualized perspective on the way that they want to tell a story. And I think I just want to hopefully have the opportunity to keep being creative with cool creative people who sort of want to throw everything at the wall and just splatter creativity everywhere. Yeah. That would be really fun to be able to do. So I'm hopeful that that might happen.
Thank you so much. This is, I mean, I said it to you, like, obviously many times off camera, but it really has been like the best shoot.
I've had so much fun today. I've had too much fun. This doesn't feel like a work day.
Do you want to see my very scary picture?
No, okay, I don't know. I feel like my 8-year-old self through this. Whoa!
It's nightmare.
I like this. Mine is not as good as it would normally be.
Oh.
No, nobody.
God, they're so. How fascinating! How different they are, though.
I'm normally much better at this. I think it's because I don't normally draw on an easel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Loved it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.